What's up, everyone? I'm Chris Rogers from Rockin' Waves 11294, and you're watching WGS-TV.
Welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFXTV. I'm Dope Deep on the Boudreaux along with Mick37. Mick, how you doing tonight?
Really good.
Before we get into this week's Friday Night Smackdown for the week of July 20th, 2012, I'd like to inform everybody that YouTube is giving me an issue right now. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but for some reason I cannot reply to any of your comments. So if you guys are leaving comments and you're wondering why I'm not replying, I'm trying to reply to them, but for some reason YouTube is giving me issues about it. I click the reply button, the dialog box does not come up. So you guys go in and keep putting in your comments on the videos. And as soon as YouTube starts being anally retentive about fixing their own problems, I will reply to your comments, because that's one thing I like to do on here is interact with you guys. And right now, I'm kind of limited about doing that because of YouTube's problem right now with that reply button. So hopefully YouTube will have that fixed. So I just want to give you guys that notice that if if I don't reply to your comments, it's not my fault. It's on YouTube. So let's go and get to this week's Friday Night Smackdown, guys, as we open up with the return of Rey Mysterio, and of all places, his hometown of San Diego, California. Mick, you didn't get the opportunity because you weren't there for the Monday Night Raw review, but what were your opinions about the return of Rey Mysterio, not only to the Monday Night Raw episode, but on this night on Friday Night Smackdown?
Honestly, I'd have liked to see the return on a different date. The 1000th episode, of course. But what happened. I think they might be building to something better. Who knows?
Yeah, especially with a feud with Bruno Del Rio. But this opening promo involving Mysterio, Del Rio, Dolph Ziggler, and Sheamus kind of went a little predictable there. It's kind of predictable, and it kind of went the way we thought it was going to be, tag team main event. But I must say this, Dolph Ziggler kind of came out to a pop from the crowd. I don't know if you caught that, Mick.
Oh, yeah.
So as far as this opening segment goes, it was still good, but yet predictable. And, my old saying here, when wrestling becomes predictable, it becomes boring. Right. So I'm going to go 3.5 out of 5 on this opening promo, Mick. What's your score?
I have to agree with you on 3.5. Just because it was decent, but it was really, really predictable.
And next up, we had an 8-man tag featuring the primetime players, Hanico, Camacho, taking on R-Truth, Kofi Kingston, and Epico and Primo. One, for the love of God, why in the world is Camacho allowed in the ring? He stinks. Doesn't he, Mick? He flat out stunk.
The guy should be on the unemployment list, we'll put it that way.
What he should be is, he's supposed to be Hanico's lackey of sorts. He's supposed to be the guy on the outside, providing interference and whatnot. His in-ring ability, I don't know why WWE is allowing him to go in there and just stink up the ring, but that's what he's doing. He is stinking up that ring. He is messing up his spots. He is botching. And let me just say this. If I had to compare, if I had a choice between watching Sin Cara or Camacho, I'd definitely go with Sin Cara. Because Sin Cara, he has shown the ability to improve. Camacho has shown the ability that he can get worse. So I don't know why. And it kind of felt like, I don't know if you got this vibe, Mick, but it kind of felt to me that Camacho was in the ring about 80 to 85% of this match.
Yeah, I think they're trying to improve him a little bit by putting him through some work, but they need to actually take some time and train with it before they do it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. As far as this 8-man tag goes, despite the suckiness of Camacho, everybody else was good. Primetime players were good. And we got to talk about the finish. We got to talk about that finish with Darren Young. And if I remember correctly, I believe it was either Epico or Primo, but one of them got knocked off the top rope, and Darren Young caught them with that gut buster finisher, and ended up getting the win for his team. Mick, I got to say this: if their timing was 1 second off, that would have been a botch all the way through.
All I can say is it reminded me of a Jericho move.
Yeah, it definitely did. Definitely did. So despite Camacho and how bad he was in the ring, it was still a great finish for this eight-man tag. And again, the finish, spot on, perfect timing. And despite Camacho, I'm going to go 4 out of 5 on this 8-man tag. Mick, what's your score?
I'll probably be nice about it and go 4.5 just because they're trying to improve somebody, but they're doing it the wrong way, so I'm not giving it a 5.
Next match is Damien Sandow and Zack Ryder. Why?
That's what I said.
What was the point of this match? Really? Honestly? Truly? I mean, it looks like they're trying to develop a feud between Damien Sandow and Zack Ryder. But I think they just need to put a little bit more effort into it, because if they keep going the way they're going right now, Mick, this feud is going to die out faster than the Pope and Samoa Joe in TNA.
Honestly, I just think it's a subliminal message that Osama's still alive.
Oh, wow. Wow. I'm not even going to ask where that came from, but anyway. As far as this match goes, it's WWE once again putting Damien Sandow over. I don't know why they're putting so much into this dude. They're letting him go over on so many people. He's been over on, I think, Tyson Kidd already. He's been over on Zack Ryder twice. So I really don't know what's going on here, what WWE sees in him. He does have good mic skills, and he has good ability to draw heat from the crowd. But I'm just not seeing the in-ring ability. WWE is not allowing him to really put on a really good match to allow us to see his in-ring ability. I mean, what's the longest match he's had so far in the WWE? I don't think maybe a 3-minute match at best.
Yeah, and he needs to change a finisher too.
Yeah, it was a version of the neckbreaker that William Regal used at one time during the Attitude Era in the WWE. So, but that's when it was William Regal and not a man's man, Steven Regal. As far as this match goes, average at best, 3 out of 5. Mick?
Yeah, I have to go with that.
Next up, we got the Peep Show, Christian's Talk Show, with Daniel Bryan and AJ discussing this whole marriage thing that's going to be taking place Monday night on the 1000th edition of Monday Night Raw. Mick, your reaction to Daniel Bryan. First off, your reactions to Daniel Bryan and AJ and their marriage that's going to be taking place, and two, your thoughts on what happened on the Peep Show.
I personally don't care for the wedding. Honestly, I want to see it get sabotaged like every other WWE wedding. It's not Teddy Long's. Other than that, I have my opinions about Christian, and I'll say it once and I'll say it again. WWE made his name, but TNA exploited his talents, and now he's trying to exploit him more, and I like it.
Well, the Peep Show segment led into this matchup involving Daniel Bryan and Kane, and a very interesting matchup between these two guys. Kane ends up getting disqualified in this match, so Daniel Bryan is the winner. As far as the match goes, it was an alright match. Daniel Bryan's always got good in-ring ability, and you can always expect a really good match with Kane. Kane never really lets us down when it comes to, high-profile matches and whatnot. So I'm gonna grade both the Peep Show segment and the match. I'm gonna go 4 out of 5 as a combined score. Mick, what about you?
Yeah, I have to go with that too.
Next up, we have the one-man band, baby. That was the worst Heath Slater impersonation I've ever done, and it's the last Heath Slater impersonation. Well, probably won't be the last, but it's the last time you'll hear me say it like that on here. Heath Slater. Now, as of late on Monday Night Raw, he's been getting jacked left and right because of the Raw legends. So apparently he thought maybe a move to SmackDown would be safer. You wouldn't have to run into a legend. Not the case on this one, because we have the return of Animal. Yes, the Laurinaitis that people actually cared about. This is John Laurinaitis' brother, for those of you who are still living under a rock. Animal. So that's Joe Laurinaitis. Joe Laurinaitis, for those of you who are still stunned by what I said. But that's his real name. But it's Animal, one half of possibly one of the best tag teams ever in the professional wrestling industry. The Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal. And needless to say, even though he has aged, he's still a legend, but he kind of let himself go. Wouldn't you say, Mick?
Yeah.
I mean, the finish came with a power slam and an elbow drop. Heath Slater gets his butt whooped again. So, with the 1000th episode of Monday Night Raw, who knows who's going to come out to kick Heath Slater's can. I'm going to go 4 out of 5 just because it's Animal from the Legion of Doom. You know, the return of one half of the greatest tag team champions ever in the Legion of Doom. So, Mick, what is your score?
I'm going to go 4 out of 5 just because I like seeing Heath Slater get his ass kicked.
We can never get tired of that. Never get tired of that. Main event time shows Sheamus and Rey Mysterio taking on Dolph Ziggler and Alberto Del Rio. Great match. Rey Mysterio came out wearing a new shirt, a new top, I guess now, that he's be wrestling with. The question mark kind of beckons back to his gimmick in WCW, whereas ring gear was the question marks. Where you had the question marks all over his tights, all over his mask. So that's the kind of feeling I got. What was your reaction to seeing Rey Mysterio's new ring gear, Mick?
I think it might be his last run.
You really think?
It could be if he's going back to his WCW roots.
Well, yeah, Rey Mysterio, I gotta believe, is wrestling on borrowed time because, he's had so many knee injuries and knee surgeries that I believe Rey Mysterio, honestly, is one knee injury away from retirement.
That, and I'm pretty sure if he gets in trouble one more time anyway with the commission, I'm pretty sure he's out anyway.
No, yeah, you got a point there.
So either way, if he either retires or gets fired, either way, I think he's going to retire anyway after he gets fired from wrestling for good.
Sheamus and Rey Mysterio get the win. However, we have to note this. Alberto Del Rio attacked Sheamus yet again after the match was over, and Dolph Ziggler looked to try to cash in his Money in the Bank on Sheamus to become the World Heavyweight Champion. Rey Mysterio stops and gives him the 619, which leads into a bro kick for Dolph Ziggler. So right now, Dolph Ziggler trying to cash in his Money in the Bank is 0 for 2. He is 0 for 2 on that. Main event, I'm going to go 4 out of 5 on this one. Mick?
Well, I have to go with it just because I like seeing Ray coming back, and I like the whole gimmick returns / flying ass whipping. Yeah.
Overall score for this week's SmackDown, I gotta go 4 out of 5. This was a much better SmackDown than last week's one. Last week's Friday Night Smackdown was kind of a lackadaisical SmackDown. It was like, we just put this match card together. I don't care who's on it. Just go out there and do what you need to do. This week's Friday Night Smackdown was a lot better. We saw Rey Mysterio return to Friday Night Smackdown. We saw the return of Animal and beat up Heath Slater. A great 8-man tag match despite Camacho and his lack of in-ring ability. Great match with Daniel Bryan and Kane, and of course to finish off with Sheamus, Rey Mysterio, Dolph Ziggler, and Alberto Del Rio. Great tag match. And poor little Mr. Ziggles is 0 for 2, cashing in Money in the Bank. Mick, your overall score?
Overall score, I'd have to go with 4 out of 5, just because most segments were decent.
Exactly. So what we want to know now from you guys, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Friday Night Smackdown this week. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below, and hopefully YouTube will fix their problem about the reply button as soon as possible. Don't forget to subscribe to both youtube.com/WrestleGamer, youtube.com/ZFXTV Network, and youtube.com/ZFXFame. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. So with that being said, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux from Mick37, saying thank you very much for watching.